What's going on, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? It's your boy Cal Life here, bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel video, and today we are going to be playing some P.U.N.K, and we're going to be playing an updated version of what I had. Now, I did switch up a lot of things. I added in some Imp and some Frightfur Patchworks. That way, we're not too dependent on the Sharakusai, so we can go and get our fusion monster onto the field. Now, what exactly am I playing? I'm playing 3 Droll and Lock Birds, 1 Edge Imp Sabes, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Sharakusai, 1 Wa Gon, 1 Madam Spider, 3 Z Almonds, 1 Edge Imp Chain, 1 Celestial, 1 Dasher, 3 Foxy Tunes, and 3 Ogre Dances. And then finally 2 Nibiru's for the monsters. Now for spells, I am playing 2 Polys, 1 Monster Reborn, 3 Patchworks, 1 Fusion Destiny, Pot of Prosperity, 2 Pot of Prosperities, 2 Emergency Teleports, 2 Call by the Graves, 2 Crossout Designators, and then for trash, we're playing 1 Dangerous Gabu and then 1 Nashiwari. Now for our extra deck, we are playing a DPE, 2 Rising Carps, 1 Charge Warrior, 1 Ravenous Croco Dragon, 1 Shen, 2 Amazing Dragons, 1 the Phantom Knights of Breaksword, and then we're playing a number 75 Bamboozling Gossip, and then we're playing Down Earth Magician, 1 Hope, 1 Zeus, 1 Verte, 1 Access Gold. Now the deck essentially works like this. I look to try to plan and lock them out of them being able to add cards to their hand. So that's why I'm playing 3 Droll and Lock Birds. But to be honest with you, I may drop it down to 2. Because even with 3, I don't seem to be drawing this card as much as I think I should, to be honest with you. Then we do play the Edge Imp Sabes. Basically, when this card's in the graveyard, right, you can go ahead and put it back into your deck, which allows you to go ahead and use Frightfur Patchwork, just in case you know, you don't have any more of your Edge Imps in the deck itself anymore. Now Sharakusai is basically your fusion, special summon fusion card without a poly. You have to pay 600 life points. You then go ahead and make a fusion monster. Or if it's on your opponent's turn and you have the cards on the field, you can go ahead and synchro to make a Amazing Dragon. So if you have a P.U.N.K Sharakusai and then you have any level 8 monster, you can easily make the P.U.N.K amazing. Now, then you have the Z Amin, which is basically you can add any P.U.N.K card to your hand except for a Z Amin. So you pay 600 and you can add any card that's a P.U.N.K. So if you wanted to go ahead and add your level 8s, you can. If you want to add your any of these monsters, the Madam Spider, the Wa Gon, the Sharakusai, you can. Obviously DPE. So another thing is we do play the Edge Imp Chain. When Edge Imp Chain is discarded to the graveyard, or it just happens to go into the graveyard, it can activate an ability, which can go ahead and search you out your Frightfur Patchwork. Frightfur Patchwork can then go ahead and search you out a Poly and a Edge Imp monster. So that's what that's for. Crossout is to go ahead and cross out Nibiru's just in case, and then Nibiru's just gonna do Nibiru things. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, do not forget to go in and comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. We're so close to 900 subs. Let's try to see if we can get that. Enjoy. Okay, so we are starting first, and I'm going to be starting with a Crossout and a Edge Imp Sabes in defense mode, because I literally kind of bricked. Like, if I summoned out the Sharakusai, I wouldn't be able to do anything. Anyways, he starts off with a Tengi into a Jet Synchron. From there, he goes into the Christon, gets another Tengi, and then he gets rid of his Nibiru along with his Jet Synchron. He then goes into a Rhododon, and from there, I'm thinking, okay, let me go ahead and toggle my thing off. That way, he just knows that the only card that's activating was this. Cause with me toggling it off, I was like, let me have him summon all his tokens first. Because if we went ahead and Nibiru'd the Rhododon, right, the token still would have went off. So I wanted to make sure everything gets off the field. So I get rid of the tokens and I put it in defense mode because he could still attack since it was the second turn. And because he had majority of tokens, he basically gets 0 defense because the Link monster has no defense. So anyways, it is our turn. I do draw into a Z Amin. I summon out our Z Amin, activate his effect. Unfortunately, we do get hit with Ash, which does suck, but I'm able to go ahead and hit that with a Crossout to negate that. So by me hitting the Crossout, I'm still able to go ahead and grab my card. And I believe the card I ended up grabbing was Foxy Tune, if I remember correctly. But so I grabbed the Foxy Tune. I decided to go ahead and switch our cards to attack mode. I use our Poly. That way I can make the Sharakusai and Z Amin fuse together to go ahead and get a Rising Carp. I'm going to now activate Z Amin's ability, increase Rising Carp's attack. Then from there, I can summon out a Verte Anaconda using the token, using the Biru, and our other card. Toss out the Verte to make a DPE. And now we're just going to go ahead and attack. So we aren't able to OTK here, but it is what it is. I do get at least the DPE out, and I get a Rising Carp. And then from here, he just ends up scooping. So even though we bricked, we still were able to do something. He didn't actually brick. We just happened to have Nibiru, so that saved us. So anyways, let's get into the next one. All right, so once again, we are going first. When you're playing Punk Kids, majority of the time you do want to go first. I activate the Foxy Tune so I can go ahead and summon out a Z Amin. The reason I did that is I wanted to go ahead and bait. Then I activate the Ogre Dance. Ogre Dance allows me to grab another card from our deck as long as it's not level 8. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Sharakusai to go ahead and fuse together both our Z Amins to make a Rising Carp. Put the Rising Carp in defense. I'm going to now increase the attack of my Sharakusai thanks to the Z Amin ability. Then I notice he's playing Emancipators. So he summons out the Block Dragon. Now, what's really cool about Sharakusai, other than it allowing you to go ahead and make a fusion monster based off of cards in the hand or on the field, right? You can also go ahead and synchro a monster as well, that as long as it's a synchro punk. So as long as you have the cards on the field. So basically I have the Sharakusai and I have the Rising Carp. We can go ahead and now synchro into our Punk Amazing Dragon, which I have the ability now to go ahead and bounce back 2 cards into his hand. So the Block Dragon goes back, and so does the Emancipator. So we do end up stopping that. I then decide I'm going to go and summon out our, use our Punk's ability, our Amazing Dragon's ability to go ahead and summon out the Rising Carp. I summon out my Ash Blossom. The Ash Blossom is a tuner, other than a hand trap, which allows us to go ahead and do things. But I decided to go ahead and go into Verte. From Verte, I toss out Fusion Destiny. I get both the DP now onto the field, and now I'm just going to go ahead and attack. So once again, we're not at a part of where we can OTK, so it does suck. But I mean, they survive with 2,000 life points. Now it is Raiken's turn. Raiken is going to go ahead and summon out his Roxy's. I decided to hold off on using DP's ability to destroy it and let him summon the Meow Moo. And then I decided to Ash the Roxy's. Now by ashing the Roxy's, he can't send a card to his banished zone. That way he can go ahead and draw a card. So he stopped that. I noticed he did hit the monster Reborn to go ahead and summon out one of our punks. Now, if you don't know anything about Ogre, what Ogre does, if I activate an ability, right? Ogre is allowed to go ahead and gain attack equal to that, equal to the monster that ability was activated. So if I activated our Destiny Hero DPE, he would get 2,500 extra attack until the end of the turn. So he tried to bait that out by attacking us, and then tried to go ahead and bait it out by attacking the the Verte, and then notice that I still wouldn't activate my ability to give him that increase, so they just go ahead and scoop. So unfortunate for him, but you know what? I know my cards. Okay, so now we are going first. Once again, I'm telling you guys, going first is a key. We activate Z Amin's ability, and we immediately get hit with a Infinite Infinite, which does suck, but I'm not too worried because we do have a few good cards in our hand. I activate the Pot of Prosperity. I'm able to go ahead and search for 3 cards. And so I decided to go ahead and grab ourselves a Patchwork. Now with the patchwork, I can go ahead and get ourselves a Poly, and we can also go ahead and get ourselves a Edge Imp Chain. And then I place 2 cards face down. So now we have an Edge Imp, the Nibiru, and the Poly, along with a Call by the Grave face down and a Gabu. Gabu allows us to go ahead and basically negate a monster's effect if it was on the field. And then if we had a Punk on the field at the same time, we could go ahead and gain life points to the monster that we negated. Anyways, I use Call by the Grave to call his Ash, but he hits us with a Crossout Designator. So our call does get negated. But here's the funniest thing. I honestly think people forget what they do when they use their cards, right? So I decided to go and summon out our Madam Spider. From the Madam Spider, I'm able to go ahead and grab ourselves another trap card in our deck, which is the Nashiwari. And this is what I'm talking about. So he calls by the Grave our card, which is going to give us a 600 attack boost. Not really sure why he would call that. But he forgot that he hit us with a Crossout Designator earlier on our call. So he actually negates himself and completely forgets. I'm just going to go ahead and attack. I play another card face down. And I believe they just end up scooping because for some odd reason. Oh, no, they didn't scoop. My bad. So right here, we do get the emergency teleport. I'm going to activate emergency teleport to go ahead and give ourselves a Z Amin. Activate Z Amin's ability to get a Foxy Tune. I'm going to use Foxy Tune to get rid of our Edge Imp Chain, which is going to allow us to go ahead and get ourselves a Patchwork from our deck. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate Patchwork again to go get ourselves a Sabes and a Poly. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and immediately go into our Amazing Dragon. Now, because we use Rising Carp, our Amazing Dragon can now attack twice per turn. As long as it was used, as long as the Rising Carp was used. So we're just going to go ahead and attack for 3,600 damage. And then we're going to attack for another 3,600 damage. So once again, another GG's. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. This deck is super fun, guys. If you have the opportunity to make punks, I suggest you do. All right, so we are starting off first. So what I'm going to do is activate our Foxy Tune. Our Foxy Tune does get Ash though, so that does suck because we have no way of combating that, man. So anyways, we do summon out the the Sharakusai, and from Sharakusai, I'm going to go into our Rising Carp. And then from Rising Carp, I'm going to activate its ability to go ahead and put 2 Punk monsters on the field. One being the Z Amin, which is going to search any Punk monster in my deck. I activate now the Ogre Dance to special summon it onto the field. Activate Z Amin's ability to go ahead and increase my attack by 800. And then I end my turn by playing 2 face downs. Now, the reason I did this is because now I can go ahead and synchro into my Amazing Dragon anytime I wanted on the opponent's side. And so I noticed that they are playing Numerons, which I'm really okay with them playing, as we're going to be able to send back cards into the deck, so it doesn't bother me. So for the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is destroy one of his monsters. Then he goes into a Numeron Gate, and he's going to activate its effect, but we have the Dangerous Gabu, which is able to now negate that. So now we are able to go ahead and negate his Dangerous Gabu with Dangerous Gabu. And then because we had Punk monsters on the field, we could gain 2,000 life points back because that's how much attack it has. And now when he decides to attack, we go into the Punk Amazing Dragon. Once he single summoned, he can activate his ability. So I bounce back 3 cards into the deck, and they end their turn. So far we were able to stop Numeron. We actually top deck into a Fusion Destiny, which is crazy. Now, I'll say this: do not make this a mistake. I constantly do this, and I always seem to forget. You cannot tribute to make you cannot tribute this card to go ahead and grab 2 of your monsters from your deck once you summon it with this. It has to be fusion summoned first, right? So instead, what I should have done is I should have grabbed Ogre or Foxy Tune. Ogre is our strongest one, so that's our beatdown. That's what I should have grabbed. So but I didn't. So I messed up right there. So keep that in mind. Anyways, I decided to go into Fusion Destiny. We summon out the DPE, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and attack. Unfortunately, he does have this